big day. I don't know how far we're going to get. I don't really have any specific goals in mind other than to try and get the engine down into the engine compartment. At this point, you can see it sitting there, and you can see that sitting there. It's all this wiring. I haven't decided what I'm doing with it, how much I need, but I can tuck that up out of the way and figure that out later. That's not going to keep me from getting in there. I kind of want to get the mental boost of having it fitting down in the engine compartment, and you know, some of the stuff I do know how to do for sure, like make engine mounts and that type of thing. So if I can get it in there and get things situated, I ended up getting the drive shaft spacer yesterday, so that is, I'm waiting for the U-joint, then that'll hook onto the drive shaft, then this spacer, and that goes to the diff. So I'll have an idea of exactly where that thing needs to be front to back wise. So I got that. So I think that's really what my goals are, is to get that thing in there and work on motor mounts. So, up, looks like it's, I don't think I'm totally out, but close to being able to make it over the lip. Didn't totally do this on purpose, but feeling pretty good about the angle to drop it in there. It's nice to have some angle. There are things you can buy that allow you to tilt. I've put a lot of engines in and never used one. Usually you can figure your way around it if you need to. I didn't drain the ATF, so I have a nice ATF mess. Nice thing about ATF though, it's kind of a cleaner, so it's not like oil. It actually will sort of clean your floor, as well as dripping all over it. I'm kind of waiting for that to stop before I get to the next step, but pulled off the motor mounts. I don't know how much of the old motor mount I'm going to try and use or not, but we're getting closer. Another step. I think I say that at the end of every clip. Not in for good, but just to show you a bunch of stuff that I was worried about. Right down in there, the exhaust clears, the O2 sensor looks like it's not going to be a problem with the steering shaft. That exhaust clears. Right there, I can see that, maybe, yep, that exhaust clears. All this stuff's gonna clear. This pan more or less clears. I'm probably gonna cut a little bit, oh I am, shave a little bit out of that cross member, but not much. Problem lies here. The pan hits. Big hammer is going to take care of that. Exhaust is plenty of room for it to make its way down through. I'll show you the bigger problem. So on the other side, I think a big fucking hammer is going to take care of this too. But the other side has a shift linkage. And right now, it's not touching, but if you move it, it's going to touch. And there's got to be room for a cable and stuff. That nut's like super close. The rest of it seems okay. Up in there. Hard to see. It looks like there's enough room everywhere else. But not here. And I don't know how much of a hammer I've got to do that. Probably enough. I guess if I use this shield as a reference, that's probably going to get me where I need to go. Other than that, I think we're going to be looking good. This cross member is pretty tight too. I might take a little bit out of that, but it kind of depends. I don't know how much I need to, but anyway, not a perfect fit, but pretty damn good, considering it was never meant for this. Right now, that back transmission, or that back black cross member from before, engine is sitting on that, which is handy for not needing an engine hoist to have this thing sit in there. It's not rocking anywhere, but it actually will need to go higher. There's no way to make that go lower other than completely fabricating that, which I don't see a need for. So yeah, fits in there pretty nice. Okay, so to give you an idea, that right there, I had a reference to make it equal with that heat shield, which it is, and this was the other spot. See that well, but the other spot where the pan probably went slightly overboard, and clean that up a little bit, but that is how far I had to put it in, so I'm going to give the engine another try at putting her in. Okay, so the engine's been pulled completely up and out for some transmission hammering. Back in, back farther than it was. Can fine tune that, but I don't know if you can see the focus. It's pretty much exactly level right now. And what it looks like, I did end up having to take the factory mounted O2 sensor off. And down in here, you can't really see it. Right down in there to get it fitted. I'll try to see whether I can get it back on, but I might just end up having to put it in the exhaust pipe like the other side has anyway. So not too big of a deal. But that's how it's gonna sit in there. I will show show you in a second. But some good news is that it looks like the transmission mount is going to be pretty easy. If you look up in here, you can see the transmission mount for this Lexus is right here. And over there, obviously. And look what pretty much lines up right there. So I'm going to clean it and give it a test fit. But I think that should work. This one appears to be in okay shape. Looks like it's a little cracked, but worst case I get a new one of those, but I don't think I'm gonna have to do anything special. So once I got that thing mounted, I mean, it may be worst case, it looks like a little low. I don't think this trans can really go up more, so that might not work. But what will work is the stock aluminum. Whether it works with this or not is a different story. Worst case, I can get a different ice layer. So there you go. Or I could space down the stock one. That is an option as well.
And holding a gun in the other.
There was a man who got a stadium, a man who got a forum, a field, an auditorium, and one who got none. A man who got riches to